welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa for those of you who are new, and I make new videos every week. I post on Sundays and Wednesdays, and today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys 5 tips on how to travel the world on a budget. So this actually came via request from one of you guys on one of my Vietnam vlogs, and if you guys haven't seen those vlogs yet, then I'll go ahead and pop them up on the screen right now for you guys to go ahead and watch them after you're done with this video. But you guys asked me to kind of give you insider tips and tricks on how I afford to travel. I traveled to Vietnam just this past November, and I got to go for a week and a half. I got to see Saigon, Da Nang, and Hoi An. And then before that, I was in Chicago in September. And shortly before that, I got to make a first solo trip to Charleston, South Carolina. And then before that, I got to go to Toronto and Niagara Falls in Canada. So I want to share with you guys how I afford to travel so much on a budget. So tip number 1 is a really good tip, and you honestly wouldn't think of it unless someone told you, and I forget which one of my friends actually told me to be mindful of this. But if you are searching for any kind of travel destination, whether it be flights, whether it be rental cars, whether it be just looking up what there is to do in a certain city or country, make sure you go incognito whenever you open up a search window. So I'll go ahead and show you guys up here how you can do that. If you have Google Chrome downloaded on your browser, this is how you do it. So you simply just right click and search new window incognito. Now what this does, it doesn't allow your computer to track the cookies. So this means that it won't give you pop-up ads for Denver. You know how sometimes it's kind of weird, like, like you search Denver and then all of these things come up for things to do in the Colorado Rockies, or where to stay in Denver, or flights to Denver. That's because the computer is tracking your data through cookies. So whenever you go incognito, it doesn't allow your computer to track your data. So this also is very helpful whenever it comes to flights. I didn't know this, but I have confirmed that it is true. If you are searching for a flight and you're just kind of watching the flight on a regular window, it'll track that. So it'll track like, hey, this person is really looking at flights to Vegas. They're searching 2-3 times a week. Well, by the 3rd or 4th search, that flight might go up. And it's not just necessarily for the general public, but it'll go up for you because they see your interest. So it's kind of supply and demand. So if they see that you are really looking to book a flight to Vegas, they're like, okay, well, they really want to book a flight to Vegas, so let's bump it up a couple of dollars. The more you search, it's actually getting more expensive for you. So that's one really good tip, is make sure that before you do anything travel related, you are going on an incognito window so it does not track your cookies and it doesn't track that information whenever you're trying to pull up information to fly. Okay, so tip number 2. So what I like to do whenever I'm first searching for flights, like I said, I always go incognito, and then my first stop is always Google Flights. So I like to go into Google Flights because you kind of see a plethora of flight airlines, and it kind of lets you play around with the destinations and also the departing airports, which is another big key in this, is you have to be flexible, 1 with your travel dates and 2 with the airport departures. So if you have a nearby airport, like here in Philadelphia, I've flown out of Trenton, New Jersey plenty of times because flights are often cheaper there than if it were to fly out of Philadelphia International directly. I've even gone out of JFK in New York because it's not that far. It's maybe an hour and a half away from me. That's actually what I did for Vietnam, is I booked my flight going out of JFK, and I got my flight for way cheaper than I would have flying out of Philadelphia. So if you have airports that are kind of near and close to you that would be a viable option, definitely explore that, because you will knock down quite a few $100s in some cases off your travel budget if you're a little bit flexible with your departing airport. Same thing goes for travel dates, you guys. So the most popular times to fly are, of course, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, because it is those weekend travel dates. So if you can fly out on Mondays or anytime between Wednesday as well, sometimes even Thursdays, you can get some really good flight deals that are often less than if you were to book on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Okay, and tip number 3, sign up for flight alerts. So I am actually signed up with a couple of websites that give me travel flight alerts. One is Travel Pirates and the other one is Cheapo Air. So you can sign up through their website just to get notifications via email whenever flight deals are happening or whenever hotel deals are happening as well. These sites will let you know that, hey, they have, you know, limited time sale for this airline and you have to book by this date. And you know, that's often really good ways to find flights that otherwise you wouldn't know of. Okay, so tip number 4 is signing up for flight rewards programs. And what I mean by this, these are often free with most airlines. So, you know, Delta, American Airlines, United, they all kind of have these reward programs that are often free to join. And if you want a certain kind of membership bump, then of course it's an additional money, but usually you can join these for free and you can start accumulating those points that you get for the flights that you're already booking towards another flight. And tip number 5 is consider staying in places other than hotels. So hotels can sometimes get pretty pricey, and I'm a really big fan of Airbnb and Vrbo, which are vacation rentals. If you guys have never stayed at an Airbnb or a vacation rental, it's often a lot more convenient, honestly, than a hotel, because they have sometimes, depending on the host, they have flexible hours for you to be able to come in and check out, or you can do self-checkout and self-check-in for a lot of these places as well. And if you're interested in checking out more information on these, I'll go ahead and leave a link down below for Airbnb. If you book your first booking through Airbnb on the link that I leave in the descriptions box below, you will get $20 off your first booking. I personally love it. It's so easy and so convenient. You can choose anything from a single room to an apartment to a condo to a house in some cases, depending on how big your travel group is. And I really like using the single room option whenever I'm traveling alone. I did this for my trip in Charleston, and I'm probably gonna do it for my trip coming up in April to Denver, because it is a lot more cost effective, and oftentimes you basically have a room to yourself. But if you're doing your traveling right, guys, you shouldn't honestly even be in your hotel or your Airbnb. If you're doing traveling, you know, you want to go out there, you want to see the sights. But they have some really, really cute places on these vacation rental listing sites that you can book, and it's a fraction of the cost than you would spend for in a hotel. And I know that I told you guys that these were going to be 5 tips, but I have one last bonus tip for you guys. So with any traveling, regardless if you're on a budget or not, it is going to take being smart with your money. So what I like to do is take a part of each paycheck, just put a little bit aside for future travel. So the way that I like to do this is that I like to have what I call a cash envelope, and it is something like this. So it's basically just a little accordion file folder. And then I have little tabs here, and I actually do this for several things that I'm trying to save up for. I'm really bad about swiping my card or just putting in my card information online and just not thinking about it. So this really helps me track and save towards the things that really matter to me. So I will physically go to my bank or to my ATM and get cash out and physically put it in this little envelope folder in the designated slot to what I'm saving towards. So I have a spot for, you know, trip to Denver, or if I have a spot for, you know, the trip to Thailand that I'm trying to do this year, I will go get cash out and I will place it in the envelope, and that way I know that I took that out of my bank account. I don't have to worry about dipping into my savings, or I don't have to worry about, oh, I have to leave this money sitting in my checkings because that money is for Denver, that money is for Thailand. No, I know that it's out of there. I don't have to worry about, do I have enough to cover this, because it's out of the way and this is in a secure location. And whenever it comes time to book the flight or book the Airbnb or the car rental, then I'll just go take this money, deposit it into my account, and then that way I know that I have enough to cover those needs. And if you guys are interested, I can definitely do another video going a little bit more in depth on money management, and I can show you guys the tips and tricks that I've learned throughout the years with saving money and how I like to budget for my living expenses. So if you guys enjoyed this video, I really hope you did. Give it a big thumbs up down at the bottom there. And if you're not part of the family already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well, and hit the notification bell. Like I mentioned, I do post 2 times a week, so you don't want to miss whenever the videos go live. If you guys have any more suggestions on more videos that you would like to see from me, go ahead and leave me a comment down below as well. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.